Hello students, today we are going to study about the temples and architecture as power. We are going through this chapter. I have already told you in the video number 1, part 1, that how temples were built in the medieval period, and the making of monuments and architecture have different styles in different part of the regions. So like in northern India, we have Nagara style of building temples, and in southern part of India, we have Dravidian style. And due to different reasons, the temples were being destroyed at different time period also, because temples were considered as an important place to showcase the power of the different kingdoms at the different time period in the India. So now we will discuss some more regional kingdoms like the kingdom in the Vijayanagar and the kingdoms in the Bahmani and the Rajput kingdoms. The Rajput kingdoms actually built basically forts to protect themselves from the attacks of the enemies, and the Vijayanagar temples had actually built in a style, and they have an effect of architecture of the sultanates of Bijapur and Golconda, and we can see this in the elephant stables of Hampi, Vijayanagar. Now we will discuss about some engineering skills and construction. So at that time in the medieval period, two types of engineering skills were used, and what the materials we used at that the people used at that time. So actually the Trabeate style of architecture was used, Trabeate or corbel, in which the weight of the superstructure was carried away by columns which are vertical, and beams which are actually horizontal in this way. And there was a different style which the superstructures, that is the roof, the weight of the roof was carried away by the arches and the super arches, and I will show you some pictures later on how the arches and domes are created in this period to carry away the weight of the superstructure, especially in the Sultanate and Mughal period. Okay, so these were more stronger. They were more stronger. So this was adapted in the medieval period, and both were popular at that time, Trabeate and Arcuate style. Trabeate style was used when the columns and beams were created to carry away the weight of the superstructure, that is roof, and Arcuate style of architecture was adapted when the arches were built and domes were created to take away the weight of the superstructure. And what were the material used? Limestone, cement was used in construction, and it was mixed with stone chips to make it more stronger. And this was the engineering thing. And now we will discuss about the architecture of Sultanate period. You have studied about the Delhi Sultanate and the 5 dynasties. What happened during this time? During this time, they followed the Indo-Islamic style. That is the combination of Indian and Islamic style both. And they used red sandstone to build their buildings. Okay. And basically floral and geometric patterns were used to create different monuments. In Sultanate period, we don't saw any kind of sculpture which has human figure, etc. And they decorated with the floral geometric pattern, and as well as they have a Holy Quran. The verses of Holy Quran was also engraved on the walls of these monuments. Among the most popular or most famous monument among the Sultanate period was the Qutub Minar, which was built by Qutbuddin Aibak, started by Qutbuddin Aibak and later on completed by Iltutmish. So it is in Delhi, and is very, very popular. So there are in this there is one more difference we see in this period, that with the advent of foreign invaders, a different style of architecture, different style of monument was started to create. Was that tombs were being created at this time, because in their religion, in the Islamic religion, in the Muslim religion, they bury their dead, and in the Hindu religion we we don't bury the dead. So they start to create tombs. So tombs were created in the memory of that dead person who is very famous, or king, or some important person, not of every person. So this was the architectural style. And Qutub Minar, I will show you later on the pictures. Let me finish first. Now the Mughal architecture. In the Mughal architecture, you know that after Delhi Sultanate, Mughals came to India and started to rule in India. And the Mughals built many forts, palaces, mosques, gardens, baulis, public buildings, etc. Now this time period, the Mughal time period, was the, you can say that it was a paradise for the art and architecture, because the Mughal rulers were very much patronizing this art, because they were very fond of these kind of arts, because they were fond of building forts, palaces, and they give time and support to this kind of things. Okay, so this was the time where development in the monument, structural monument, and mosques, with different kinds of mosques or temples were being created, and with the support of these Mughal rulers. Especially, we see that they introduced a new style of architecture, of making garden palaces. Babur introduced this. This was called the Chahar Bagh gardens. In this Chahar Bagh garden, what do we see? That the garden is in a rectangular area, and the rectangular garden was divided into 4 equal parts, and they are connected with channels of water. And sometimes these gardens are created in front of a river, and the most important is example of this riverfront, or the Chahar Bagh garden. Actually, it is divided into 4 parts. That is why it is called Chahar Bagh. 4 equal parts. It is in symmetry actually. So the example is the Shalimar Gardens in Kashmir, and in Taj Mahal. It's an important Humayun's tomb, Taj Mahal. They are all examples of the Chahar Bagh gardens. So, and Chahar Bagh in the during the Shah Jahan's period, Jahangir period, a lot of beautiful monuments were being created. Taj Mahal, Diwan-e-Am, the Red Fort, inside it Diwan-e-Am, Diwan-e-Khas was there, and they were all very beautiful buildings. I will show you the pictures one by one after I explain. So in Taj Mahal, it is and what about the material used? During the early Mughal period, red sandstone was used, but in the time of Shah Jahan, or later on, especially during the time of Shah Jahan, he used white marble to create all the monuments. And you all know about Taj Mahal. It is a beautiful monument, mausoleum, created in the memory of his wife, Mumtaz Mahal. It is also a tomb, and it is created in white marble. It has 4 minarets, arches, circular roofs, and it is a riverfront garden because it is built in front of a river. And yes, it is in a Chahar Bagh format. Okay, so there are many more things. Many beautiful monuments were built during this time. And lastly, what we can see, that sharing of ideas during this time, medieval period, so much of sharing was happening, because many foreign invaders came to India, and there was cultural exchange, there was exchange of art and culture, and exchange of ideas. Because of this sharing and exchanging of ideas, we saw a different kind of architecture developed in this period, which was not present in the early medieval period, or in the before medieval period. Okay, so this was due to the different cultural exchange. So now I will show you different all the pictures which are in the book, so that you can get an idea of the monuments which were built in the later medieval period, after the coming of Sultanate period and during the Mughal period. So I will tell you. I would like to show you now. Wait a minute. I will show you. Yeah, let me show you. Wait, I have to show you like this. Yes, if you can see, you can see the long arches. I will read out for you. This is Quwatul Islam Mosque, Delhi. This is Alai Darwaza, Delhi. This is Alai Darwaza, Delhi. Such a huge, and this is the famous Qutub Minar's work. It is a profile view. Qutub Minar. See how grand the work is. You can see it in your book also. There's a picture of this Humayun's tomb. It's a river. It is situated in the garden. It is built in a Chaharbagh format. Then this is Salim Chisti's tomb, and this is Khas Mahal Agra Fort. This is Jahangir's Mahal Agra Fort, and this is Tomb of Itmadullah Agra. Tomb of Itmadullah Agra. There are more pictures. This is the famous picture of Taj Mahal. 4 minarets you can see, arches, dome, a dome structure. This is the throne where Diwan-e-Khas, where Diwan-e-Aam, where the king can sit and talk to their people. This is Diwan-e-Khas. This is Diwan-e-Khas, where many people can gather in this courtyard. It is covered. The courtyard is actually covered. This is Chaharbagh Garden. See, the garden is being divided into four equal parts, and the channels are there to water the plants inside it. Okay. So this was all the pictures. I have showed you all the pictures. So in this chapter, it's all about this. In this chapter, we have studied that there were temple architecture were of 2 types. In northern India and southern India, the temple architecture were different. And during the later medieval period, with the advent of Sultanate period, the architecture style changed, and lots of arches, minars, and circular domes were started to use. And in Mughal period also, it was a fusion of Indian and Islamic culture. And Mughal rulers were very much interested in Indian culture, and we both influenced each other, and the result was such a beautiful monuments which we still can go and see and cherish. So this was all in this chapter. We will come up with geography videos, geography chapter 5 videos in the next video. So watch this video properly. If you have any problem, any doubts, you can ask me and you can give me your feedback. Okay, see you in the next video.